name is Jordan Peele. Today I will be telling you about the Roe v. Wade case. The reason why I'm credible to tell you about this subject is because I've done several research papers, read many articles and books over the topic. Abortion is America's most frequently performed surgery on women, according to Randy Alcorn and Why Pro-Life. Leading up to Roe v. Wade case, abortion had been outlawed or severely restricted in almost every single state in the United States. The decision of this case would determine the rights of the mother and also the child itself. Today, according to pro-life activist Randy Alcorn, 1 in 4 children that is born is aborted. The framework, duration, and decision of Roe v. Wade has a colossal repercussion that still occurs today. Behind the U.S. Supreme Court decision of Roe v. Wade is an extensive background. When Norma McCorvey found out she was pregnant for the 3rd time, during this time in her life, she was unmarried and working as a carnival freak show barker. She decided to return to Dallas to seek an abortion. However, at this time, the only way you could get an abortion is if it involved rape or incest. Norma was eventually referred to 2 young attorneys by the name of Sarah Weddington and Linda Coffey. These 2 attorneys had been waiting for a chance to challenge the Texas abortion laws for many years. The attorney's chance to challenge the law appeared when Norma decided she would go through with the case, even though she knew she would not be able to get the law declared unconstitutional in time. However, Norma hoped to get an injunction against the law enforcement so that she could have a physician by the names of James Hubert Halford perform her abortion. She also decided to remain anonymous for several months, hence the name Jane Roe was used. On March 3, 1970, when Norma was 6 months pregnant, Roe was filed at a Texas federal court against District Attorney Henry Wade. Henry, who enforced the abortion law except to save a woman's life, had been District Attorney of Dallas County since 1951. A few months after the case was filed, Norma gave birth to her child and put her up for adoption. During the last few months of Norma's pregnancy, the Texas court ruled the abortion law violated the Constitution, but did not grant Norma the court order to have an abortion. Wade went on to appeal the federal court decision before the U.S. Supreme Court. After the Texas federal court ruled in favor of Roe, the case was brought to the U.S. Supreme Court over a long period of time. This case would be argued in 2 trials before the court, and then they would decide on a decision. On December 13, 1971, the case was argued before the U.S. Supreme Court in Trial 1. Norma's lawyer, Sarah Weddington's main argument against abortion was because it violated her right to privacy as discussed in the 1st, 4th, 5th, 9th, and 14th Amendment. However, when Supreme Court Justice Potter Stewart asked Sarah questions, she struggled to find her hook for her argument in the Constitution. Yet, Sarah Weddington was not the only one having a bad day in court. The main argument for the Texas abortion laws was a fetus was a human life, so an abortion would be considered murder in the Constitution. Jay Floyd argued in the first trial for Texas, but also struggled to have enough proof on his case that a fetus was a human life. However, there was a slight complication with the first trial. There's only 7 Supreme Court justices present in this trial, which usually there's supposed to be 9. There was only 7 present at this trial, though President Nixon had already announced that Lewis Powell Jr. and William Rehnquist were the chosen nominations for this. According to Encyclopedia.com, Justice Blackmun recommended that the court reconsider the case with all 9 justices, hence why there is now a second trial. After the first trial, the case would be re-argued not until another year later, when the Supreme Court could have all 9 justices present at once. Once the Supreme Court had all 9 justices, they were able to start the next trial. The second trial was on October 11, 1972. In this trial, Sarah Weddington had a new opponent by the name of Robert C. Flowers. Sarah was better prepared and came out on Wade's case very hard. She pointed out all the pieces in the Constitution that proved that abortion was a right to privacy with several amendments. Robert C. Flowers had 2 main points to his argument. He claimed that the fetus be regarded as a person within the meaning of the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. However, Flowers received harsh questionings from Supreme Justices Potter Stewart and Thurgood Marshall on his claim that a fetus was a human life. Since there had been no scientific research at this time for a fetus being considered as a human life, this argument was not accepted by the Supreme Court justices. The second main point for Flowers' argument was that Norma had her child already, therefore making this case irrelevant. After a few months, a decision had been made on January 22, 1973. The U.S. Supreme Court, in a 7-2 decision, decided according to the 14th Amendment, a woman's right to an abortion is legal. The decision had a massive ripple effect across the United States. The Roe v. Wade decision to affirm that abortion was legal created 3 colossal repercussions I'm going to tell you about. The first repercussion was that no states could ban abortion within the first trimester of a pregnancy. However, according to Chicago Tribune, 39 states had passed laws that require minors to get consent of parents before getting an abortion. States also had to adopt new laws on abortions in the second trimester when it involved the health of a mother. However, when it came to the third trimester of this pregnancy, it was up to the state on whether the abortion would be allowed or banned. Naturally, there were mixed reactions across the country to being legal to have abortion. The next repercussion was that several groups formed choosing the 2 different sides, pro-life and pro-choice. Women's feminist groups were excited to have the right of abortion, but on the other hand, several religious groups were not. The Roman Catholic Church spoke out greatly against the legalization of abortion. The third was that Norma ended up switching her side and became for pro-life. She also went on to start a group for pro-life that eventually dissolved in 2008. Although this case had a massive effect on the United States, today it still stands that abortion is legal in all states, and it's up to the state to decide on the third trimester. Thank you for letting me speak to you today about the Roe v. Wade case.